What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke, episode 240. We're going to be reviewing the AFLW or the Collingwood AFLW season. Just before we do jump into this review, be sure to follow me on all my social media accounts that will be popping up down below. Instagram, all the time. Twitter, all the time. You know the deal. I'm going to try and practice being funny to jump back onto TikTok because I've left that in the dark for a little bit. But if you are a new swooper, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you are a returning swooper, welcome back. Thank you so much for rejoining us. Let's just jump into this review now. So we all know how our 2020 season ended in that heartbreaking finals loss to the Kangaroos. And this season, 2021, we finally had crowds back. We recruited well. The girls were ready to go after, obviously a disappointing loss to end our 2020 season after playing finals for the first time. And we were going to hit the ground running this year. So we had a pretty favourable draw going into the season. And we kicked it off against our arch rivals Carlton at Icon Park, which, I went to that game and the atmosphere was so good. It was a sellout. I really, I hate saying this, but I really do like Icon Park. I like going there to watch the girls play. I'm not going to go there to watch Carlton play, but when the girls play there, I'll obviously go. And we just came out and we only won by 6 points, but we smashed the Blues, kept them goalless in that first half. They got back a little bit, but that was the kind of momentum builder that we needed to take our season to the next level where, Steve had another year of coaching under his belt, coaching with these core girls and stuff like that. And you could see that from that first game, we were going to be a force to be reckoned with in the 2021 season. Our next game was a home game at Vic Park against Geelong, where we absolutely came out. We won by 29 points, smashed them, and we played so well. We could have beaten them by more. We scored 6 goals, 9. But like I said about the Carlton game, we were building momentum. And then, we go on and we beat Richmond. We go on and we smashed North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. I was there. North didn't kick a goal that entire game. That entire game, they kicked 8 points. And it was good. That was my first time back at Marvel Stadium since 2019, I guess. And it was really great being there, seeing the girls on the big stage and stuff like that as well. But then that's our 4th win in a row. Then you go on and we absolutely annihilate Melbourne by 35 points. That's at Vic Park again. And then again, Western Bulldogs by 36 points. And at that point, that's our biggest win of the season. And that Bulldogs game epitomised pretty much our season because we weren't having a good first half. And then the third quarter comes out and we absolutely go ham on the Western Bulldogs, and we pull something out, and it just sums up how good these girls were or are, and were during that season. That was our 6th win in a row, Collingwood AFLW record, and it was just witnessing that, the girls coming back from nothing. It was really good to see it, and like I said, it epitomised our entire season. Our first loss came against grand finalists or grand final winners, Brisbane. That was our first away game because throughout that season, we're moving in and out of fixtures because of COVID and stuff like that. But we go Brisbane, we lose by 3 points in a game where we really should have won. We kicked 4 goals, 8. Brisbane kicked 4 goals, 11. So you can see that they had a bit more shots on goal, but it's devastating getting that first loss, especially when your first away game. And look, at least it was to the grand finalists and the premiership winners as well. So it wasn't too bad. But 3 points, you could see that we could match it with the best of them because Brisbane are one of the best teams. Well, they've proven themselves to be the best team of the competition. But, with the likes of Adelaide, and you could even say the Kangaroos to a certain extent as well, are really good. They've got a really good midfield and stuff. Keeping them goalless throughout the season was good as well. Then our next game, we go back to Vic Park, and we just trounce St Kilda. 46 points. Absolutely annihilate them. Our biggest win of the season, and I was there at that game as well, and the atmosphere was absolutely incredible. And just watching girls, like I've said, those girls play that brand of football that Steve has just coached into them so well, and it can't be understated how much of an impact Steve Simmons has had on this team because we've gone from, bottom ladder dwellers to, under a goal off a grand final, which is in 2 years, which is absolutely incredible. But our last game of the season, we lost by 14 points to Adelaide, over in Adelaide. So both of our losses came in interstate games, but to the grand finalist as well. So we just, that you can kind of that was like a blip on our season, because that Adelaide game, we didn't play well at all. Adelaide are a fantastic team. And just on the Adelaide game, like I said, grand finalists, so you kind of just push it to the side and be like, okay, there's a lot of lessons to learn from this. And I think we did well in the sense that we lost by under 3 goals, or just over 2 goals, to an eventual grand finalists who put up a great fight in that grand final and who have been the premier team in the competition for so long. So then started our finals journey. We took on the Kangaroos at Vic Park, and we were looking to exact revenge for that 2020 elimination final where we lost by less than a goal. I think it was 3 points, and it was an intense game. I haven't been to Vic Park for a final before, and it was just electric. It was so good, and it was good because it wasn't just, we go there and win by 40 points. The Kangaroos really gave it to us, and they could have won. They could have won that game. I think in the last quarter, we went into the last quarter, I think it was 14 points down or something ridiculous like that, and we just turned it around, kicked a bunch of goals. Tanya Brown got one as well. Kirsty Stratton got one as well. And it was just, we flicked a switch, and the girls just flicked a switch and came out and showed us how well we can play and how well we do play. This team is just, and I've said it all season, are going places, and you can see that by that great come-from-behind win against North Melbourne in a qualifying final. So the last game for our season, which ended our season, was the preliminary final game against Brisbane. It was up in the Gabba, and this was a hard one because we lost by 4 points in a game where, looking back on it, Brisbane probably did deserve to win, but so did we. We got so far and we played so well during that season. Going down by 4 points is just, it's just a kick in the teeth, and it's just reminiscent of that 2020 game against the Kangaroos. We had more shots at goal than them, and in that, especially in that last quarter, we were just peppering our forward 50 and just couldn't get the job done. And it was absolutely heartbreaking, especially when Ash Brazel kicked a goal with 25 seconds left or something. It's like, don't give us hope, but it was so heartbreaking, that game, and seeing the girls and stuff like that, and after such a great season. And I guess same can be said for Melbourne, who lost to Adelaide, and same can be said for Adelaide, and all these girls. But it's fucking heartbreaking going down like that. If we had lost by 40 points or 30 points or 20 points, you're like, all right, there wasn't really a chance. Brisbane were the better team. Losing by less than a goal, you go, fuck. One straight kick a goal, and we win that game. It was that Sarah Rowe kick a goal that bounced on the line and bounced out. It's just the way the ball bounces sometimes, and it was heartbreaking. But ultimately, I don't think we let that game define our season, because what did we have? 6, 7, 8 wins out of 11 games is fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. And we can only get better from here. So all in all, I'd give this season, I want to say an A. Is A minus bad? But A minus is better than B plus, I guess. So let's just say A minus. No, but A minus is worse than A. A plus would be the premiership. Let's just say A, because we went out in a preliminary final by less than a goal. A, lots of improvement, and we signed Steve Simmons up for a couple more years, so we can only get better. This might be the only Collingwood side that brings home a premiership in the next couple of years. So let that sink in. So just some individual accolades that I want to kind of give out. Bree Davey had an amazing year, and it was topped off by an MVP award and leading or captaining the AFL Women's All-Australian team, which is absolutely phenomenal. I hark on about it in every single video. One of the best recruits to come to Collingwood. Definitely one of the best trades Collingwood has done in the last decade or so. Chloe Molloy, our leading goal kicker. There's not much to say about her than she's just an absolute jet. An absolute jet in the forward line. She's so smart, and then she can go down back. She can play middle. Very versatile, but obviously does her most damaging work up forward. Ruby Schleicher, she in her own words, her first few seasons were absolutely rubbish. In her own words. That's not my words. That's her words. Now, she's averaging 17 or so disposals in a game. When she has the ball in her hands, you absolutely trust her with the ball in hand to make a good decision. And same can be said for Stacey Livingston. In the back line, just commanding that back line. Jordan Ruffhead's doing really well teaching that back line how to operate. Sophie Casey as well. Lauren Butler, Jordan Allen. Our captain Steph. It's just all these girls they all really pulled their weight this season. And some girls that that aren't in the best of all the time. Alana Porter, like I said, Sophie Casey. It's just absolutely phenomenal. This whole team, from top of the list to the bottom of the list, everybody puts in an effort. Our rising stars, Tani Brown. Another Brown at the club is phenomenal, but her playing so well for I think she just turned 19, I think. Joanna Lynn, the smallest player on the field, but she just gives 110%, like she's 7'2", like she's as big as Mason Cox, she's just in and under right spots, and the beauty about it is this team is still so young that there's so much improvement and there's so much more ceiling to hit. We're in a great spot. We're in an absolute great spot with this list. So where to from here? Look, the only way now is just up. I don't see the girls regressing, with the retirement of Shani, formerly Leighton. We do need a number one ruck spot. Maybe we bring in someone young. Maybe we trade for someone who can dominate in the ruck. I love what Shani was doing in the ruck. Now it's time to bring in someone younger, someone more attuned to that craft. Bring him in. I think that is the missing sort of jigsaw to our puzzle. We've already got Sophie Alexander up forward as our kind of main full forward target. We've got Chloe there as well. So we don't really need that big full forward like a Taylor Harris or someone like that. So I think if we have a ruck that can, go around the ground, take a mark, kick a goal and stuff like that, I think that would be the final piece of the jigsaw that we need. So, look, anything less than obviously a finals appearance next year would be a shame. So I think we do crack the top two next season. A premiership is well and truly on the cards. You saw we could have knocked off Adelaide if we had gotten there. But, alas, we didn't. But we could have knocked them off if we had gotten there. I think, look, going out and saying that we're going to win the premiership is a huge call, but one that I'm willing to make. We're going to win the premiership in 2022. Look. So I asked you on Instagram to let me know your thoughts on the AFLW season, or our AFLW season, so I'm just going to read a couple of them out now. Fantastic. Fatigue set in the end. Game plan was exploited by only the best, so it's a win, which is exactly what I was saying. So we only lost 3 times, 2 to Brisbane, 1 to Adelaide. You tighten up those screws, or the game plan, like you're saying, and you go a long way next season. A great year, still with some room for improvement. 8 out of 10, which is really good. Defense was amazing. Livingston and Schleicher were incredible. O'Day, Khan, Benici, Sheridan. Some great debutants in Brown, Lynn, Maloney. Clearly the best Vic side this year with a dynamic and impactful forward line. It's absolutely incredible. Just the support that this team is getting, and like I said, jump on that bandwagon. These girls are absolutely phenomenal, and I love watching them week in, week out. And look, I'll admit, I wasn't really invested. I went to the first game in 2017, and that was really it. I wasn't really invested in the AFLW program and the Collingwood girls. But in the last couple of years, it really comes down to, it's insane. Steve Simmons really reignited, or ignited my passion for this team with just the football that he's making them play. In the first few years, it was just boring football. Now it's exciting. We're taking the game on. We're kicking goals. We've got a great team, and I've said this all season that you're mad if you're not following this Collingwood AFLW side, because it's full steam ahead. We've got such a good list and such a good coach. We're going places, and jump on board the bandwagon. The membership's only $60. You get a cool little cooler bag, and you can say that you're a member of, the biggest club in the land. And I absolutely love these girls, and I love this team so much. But anyway, guys, this has been my season review. Let me know your thoughts down below. How you think we went? How you think we're going to go next year? But in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.
Ooh la la.